Hi everybody, it's Andrea, aka Violet Kitty 411, and welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much to everybody who has been engaging with comments, likes, and subscribing. You know I do appreciate it so much as we enjoy the #1 game in the Sims franchise, The Sims 2. Now we are back in Belladonna Cove for another family redesign. This one will be the second of 3 bin families, the Oldies, excuse me, the Goodies, because I already obviously did the nuisance on the last redesign. So let's go ahead and have a look. Having lived full and wonderful lives, the Goodies have decided that it's time to see the world. Will they find the adventure of their lives? Now, instead of going to Wiki, I'm actually going to a neighborhood where I have them installed, and I usually move the nuisance in with the Goodies. And I do want to say that I always think oldie but goodie. So yeah, I do associate the two couples with each other. If this trailer park looks at all familiar, it should. It is the same trailer park that I played Iris and Edward in, and that Violet and Zinnia grew up in. So here we have Herbert Goodie, who is a knowledge sim and an Aquarius. His lifetime hobby is actually nature, so I feel like he fits very nicely as a knowledge sim, and his lifetime one is to be a mad scientist, which you can't accomplish unless you use some cheats. Bert has always wanted to travel, but his job kept him quite rooted to the city where he was born. Now that he is no longer encumbered by employment, he wants to live out his dreams. And sadly, he has reached the status of elder without a single skill. Faith is also a knowledge sim with the desire to become a chief of staff and likewise lack of skills. Now, she is a Cancer, which lends itself nicely to knowledge as well as to potentially family, and Faith loves to travel. She is so excited to get on at least a few more adventures with the love of her life, and her lifetime hobby is actually cuisine. So I could, even with her bio and her lifetime hobby, very easily slip her into pleasure seeking so she can write those restaurant guides. Now, Numberjack's Octonaut actually suggested this house for the Goodies because of its proximity to Carlos Contender, so ideally the old folks could hang out with each other. This is 314 Bayview Drive. It's roughly 30,000 simoleons, and it's on a 20 by 30 lot. The house is right justified, which gives space for a side yard, which one could use for gardening or a parking pad. I can't do an attached garage unless I do some funky things, and I'm going to give that a shot, but I don't know if that's what I'm going to do. So from the entryway, we are presented with a kitchen. This, of course, would be the dining room, main living area, one large bedroom. This could definitely be a second bedroom or a family room or a rec room, and it's got a pretty good footprint, which has already been carved out, and I did not do this, ready to be dug as a basement. So now let's look for their budget. Their current bank account is $38,765, so let's look for the multiplier. So here's my wheel. They have a 50% chance of it being a 2 and a 50% chance of it being something other than 2. Let's give it a roll. And we're looking at a 4. That's great. That's a lot to work with in this small house. Okay, so 38,765 times 4 is of course going to be just shy of 160, so 155.60 is my budget. That's a lot for this small house. I'm going to do a lot with it. So with that much of a budget, I will extend the lot back this direction. I am also going to center the house and move it backwards, and we're going to create this area as a garage and do some other things, but that's my starting point, so I will have to use the lot adjuster, of course, to make my adjustments, and I will be back. Here we are. It looks like an empty lot available for $19,559, but let's check it out. And now the road is all bass-ackward, but that's okay. What I will do, I'm going to do it anyway, is completely flatten this lot because I have to make one major change, or just one change, but yep. Let's go ahead and flatten the lot and return to the neighborhood. What I will do is pick it up, place it over here very quickly, and now pick it up and put it right back where I found it, and that should fix the road. Okay, so with move objects on, I am going to go ahead and delete that. Then we'll put this in just for the time being, and now let's get down to the nitty-gritty. Now, since I do want to add a garage in, we're going to go ahead and start with removing this. I will also remove this dormer. And all of that ceiling. Now, of course, we're going to strip down to our tabula rasa, as you know I like to do. And because we do want to use a garage, I'm going to grab this right here and go 9 by 6. All right. And that's what I will get rid of as far as what will eventually be my garage. So that and that. And then the foundation right like that. And oh, there was a window there. That should have actually come, or what is that? Oh no, that's venting. Okay. Let's move that bad boy right over here. And this too. Okay. And get rid of that. Okay. That's what we're doing. As a matter of fact, I have to add foundation right along this area. And now I'm ready to add my garage. So first things first, and we're going to kind of coordinate it a little bit with Carlos's house. There's that and that. We're not necessarily going to keep it that way, but that's what we're doing for now. Okay. All right, activating my cheat, boolprop, constrained floor elevation false. Now I'm going to add in this wall right here and this wall right here. Grab that ceiling tile and put that in, and now remove it back right like that. Deactivate the cheat and put the walls back in. All right, now we will reactivate the cheat and put our garage door in. Got to make sure you have your move objects on and it works best. There we go. And that's correct. Now we'll page up. Grab that ceiling tile again. And level it down for the entire roof area. And now my garage is done. And for the time being, I did an auto roof, and I am going to also put in, I think it went right there. Does that look right? No, because of the way it clips, but we'll figure it out. It's probably because of what's happening over here with the constrained floor, which is exactly what happened because I forgot to turn it off. Okay, so even with it turned off, it did that, but that's not a problem. What I will simply do is remove the roof real quick. get rid of those 5 tiles and add them back in manually. And all is well. So now we are back to the original shell, but with the garage. And for the time being, I will put this foundation back right where it belongs. Of course, I can't put one right here, but that's fine because I'll use that for a staircase. It's been a while since I've done a basement, so let's remember that first you're going to just grab any pair of stairs you have, count 5 from a corner, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then put it down. Since we do know this is a completely flat lot, that's good. Hammer it away. Now we're going to use our terrain tool. So coming up with a floor plan that satisfied my vision, plus made best use of space, hi Daisy, plus taking into account that I lost these tiles right here, was a bit challenging, but I did come up with something that I'm happy with. So first I sectioned off this area here and then surrounded the garage, leaving this much to get down into the garage. Next, I added a bathroom and a closet here. And now I'm going to section off this section and that section. And these will be 2 smaller bedrooms. This is the stairwell right there and a hall bath here. So here we have the formal family room, and this is separating the kitchen and the dining room. And I know I usually stress about putting the kitchen in the back, but in this case I wanted the kitchen with access to the garage and the dining room right here. That way the master bedroom doesn't have to walk through the kitchen in order to get to the rest of the house. Now for the access to the basement, I'm going to go ahead and put that there. Hopefully it ended up exactly where I want it. So there will be access to this from both the dining room as well as the family room. And I will also put a couple of archways in right there so it clips away the foundation. So we'll put them like that and like that. And for this, there and there. And I will also use the touch of teak, where to go, in the dark wood for moving around between those 2 spaces, also right there. And doors for everything else. Okay, so after putting on some preliminary textures and then exiting to the neighborhood, all the doors, doorways, and arches have healed themselves. So as a matter of fact, they are actually still fully functional if they show that they're blocked off, as long as you have them there. But of course it looks better if you make it look right. And now that I have my floor plan, I am going to go ahead and spend some time decorating, and I will be back. So this house was done significantly out of Life Stories custom content, and as such, I really leaned into a lot of neutral colors and a lot of the Bollywood collection that comes in that. There are so many vibrant things that come in the collection, and it's just so great to have it in this game. The textures might be pretty simple, but they are very elegant, and they definitely add a lot to the game, and they blend very well, some very rich woods that I just absolutely adore. So I figured that over the course of their marriage, Faith and Herbert had amassed quite a lot of wealth, which they never actually used because they didn't have children. And since a large portion of their bio reads that they want to have adventures and travel, I feel like the more international and exotic feel of the Bollywood collection is what Faith would be looking for. And a lot of the textures found are very simple and warm and blend very nicely with things that we find in various collections. So I do absolutely love it. If you haven't gotten it, I can't encourage you enough to get this collection. So this is the building before I did anything with it. Very nice and tidy. And now let's take a look at the finished result. Now you will notice that I changed the color of the roof and the various trims. I just felt that was more in keeping with Faith's personality. A lot of florals, the floral fence at the front, plus the bougainvillea from Castaway Stories. And I also did flank the walkway and the driveway with some trees and additional florals. Now I made no major changes to the shell, although I did certainly think about it. In the backyard, I did place my favorite seating concept, which is several benches around a large tree. They do have a lovely swimming pool because I figured that Faith, being a cuisine enthusiast, would love to entertain both indoors and outdoors. So they have quite the outdoor entertainment area, and she's the sort that would make cookies for the neighborhood kids. Now, as I mentioned earlier, I used a lot of stuff from Life Stories and lightened up the entire thing. So we used a lot of neutrals because I think with the adventures that Faith wants to go on, she'd like to see the tropics a lot. So we do have very tropical inspired, but without being over the top. So this is the Bollywood furniture set from Life Stories. Now, as we go to the right, we are presented with two doors. So they are two small bedrooms. This is the Shakely set from Life Stories. And the next door is the twin Bollywood bed. Now there is no Bollywood desk, but I made do with a small table. Off of the main room is the shared bathroom, done in the very rich, bold tones of black and red. And then we have two rooms also off the main room. The kitchen, which is the high designer stuff. And through the kitchen, we would get to the dining room with seating for 6. And that also leads out onto the living room, and both the living room and the dining room lead downstairs. And through the dining room, we come to the master bedroom. So if Faith and Herb have some guests, they are completely private from them. Very neutral, very elegant. Through here is the second of 2 bathrooms. It's a 2x4 configuration. And we also have a walk-in closet over here. Downstairs we have a rec room with the entertainment area, pool table, chess table, as well as a dartboard. And through the 2 archways we have areas for Herb to work on his nature skills, such as fishing as well as gardening. Here is the original floor plan. And here is the main floor plan after the redesign and the basement after the redesign. So I gave Coral and Herb the budget that we rolled, which is 155,060 simoleons. Let's put them in and see what they think. All right, here we are. They're on their way to check something out. Hopefully it's something more exciting than a light bulb. Okay, he's checking out a door, and Faith is also checking out a door. Let's see what they think of the door. Because, yeah, we got to go check out doors. Right into their master bedroom. And disappointed, of course. Tell her a dirty joke. We love that for ya. That's great. And no longer in love. That's really unfortunate. Okay, they made up for it by a little autonomous kiss. And back in a crush mode. But let's see if we can get these crazy kids in love. Herb, why don't you ask your wife on a date? And Faith, let's lock that in. All right. And let's just get them in good shape. How about a flirt and a tickle? That's great. And Faith, why don't you have a pillow fight, tell a dirty joke, entertain, tickle? Okay, how about tell a dirty joke? Maybe he'll appreciate your dirty jokes more than you appreciated hers. Okay, maybe not. Let's just do a safe joke. All right. There we go. That's good. And how about a joke and a tickle? Because tickles are very romantic. There we go. Ooh, and Mr. Humble's leaving a nice computer for you, Faith. That's for when you work on your restaurant guides. And why don't you check her out to roll your once? And yay, a kiss. Where are the two of you going? She's using the toilet, and maybe you are too. You know you're in love when you can pee in front of somebody. And he thought he would come check out the TV, watch a movie, Spooky Cat Lady. We love that for you. And Herb, why don't you make out with your wife? That's got to do a lot. There we go. She got that, and he got it as well. That's great. They're in a great date mode. That's awesome. Ooh, let's consider some car woohoo. Nothing's more romantic than a little bit of farfin nookie here. Faith, why don't you get the woohoo on? We'll let you initiate that.
They don't want it.
He's really going to get a bonus because he's getting first woohoo with her, woohoo and car woohoo. She's just getting first woohoo, and that's okay. They are now in a great date mode. Why don't you make out just to get your own points there? Great, great. And how about another woohoo? Fortunately, you guys can't die from too much woohoo. We love that for you. You can in Sims 4. I don't know about Sims 3. Not sure how you got caught between the foundation. That's interesting, Faith. I've never seen that in my entire experience. All right, take two. Go upstairs. And Faith, why don't you study cooking? Because you need to discover that as your predestined hobby. And aren't you excited about that? That's great. And Herbert, why don't you come stop and smell the lilies? And now you are excited about having discovered nature. It looks like this is going to fulfill every dream of these two knowledge sims. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. I will see you soon in the pixelated world, and that's all I have to say. VK out.